Hi everybody, my name is Peter, and today I'm packaging up and sending off the first batch of editions of my book that I have signed and doodled in. This is going to be the first 8 books, and I didn't expect there to be so many, but there's a bunch more that y'all have ordered, and I'm going to be doing those in a little while once my fresh order of books comes in. But basically what I'm doing here is I offer a version of my book, which you can just buy on Amazon and have it prime delivered to your door in 1 or 2 days. There's a version of this book you can buy on my website where I take it and I do a doodle in it. That's how it's presented anyways. Basically, what I found myself doing is kind of creating my own drawing on the title page. And you can make a request for, like who you want it addressed to, or maybe a request for what kind of doodle you want. And on the website, I say like, hey, you can make a request, but doodles are doodles. They kind of have a nature of their own, but I'll try to take your request into account. Most of the people in this video didn't make a request. Just only the first one and the last one, which you might notice. The first person asked me to draw a giraffe, and you'll probably be able to tell what the last person asked for. But what I enjoyed doing was kind of getting the colored pencils out and just kind of doing a nice, colorful, abstract drawing on the title page. It seemed nice to put some color into this book since it's otherwise all printed in black and white. Oh, I gotta say, there's another feature to this service, the signing and doodling of each book that isn't featured in this video, because in each book, somewhere in the book, in one of the 500 pages, and I do recommend getting this book if you're interested in art or drawing, or if you're a fan at all, or if someone you know would like it. It's a great Christmas present. Somewhere in there, in each one of these books, I added a little doodle, kind of somewhere in the margins, maybe not. I drew it with the Micron pen, so it blends in a little better. I don't know if I'll keep doing it that way. I might go, who knows, all right? But I like that something that someone might be able to find in their book as they flip through it, and it's different. It makes their book different than all the other books that everyone else is getting. And they'll have to search for it. Or they might not. Maybe they'll just stumble upon it. I like the idea anyways. I will say that this, having to send out all these books, has forced me to streamline my process, which is a good thing, I think. For a long time, I didn't really like having to mail stuff out because there's just a lot of tiny steps you got to take. You got to, pull up the address. You got to get the shipping materials, and you got to get the tape, and you got to get the box, the envelope, and then you got to get the padding or the packaging, like some bubble wrap or something. And then you got to put it all in there and tape it up and get the address on there just right. And then you got to take it to the post office and make sure you get the right shipping and everything. Anyways, obviously, I'm a person that gets easily bogged down by lots of little steps, but I'm taking little steps to get rid of a lot of other little steps. For example, I found some book shipping boxes that this book fits perfectly into, that you can see there at the beginning, and I've got big rolls of bubble wrap that perfectly make the book fit in there snugly and protect it. And I'm putting some one of my business cards and everyone gets a couple little stickers in each one. And at first for these books, I was just writing the addresses on the box with Sharpie, but then I went into the post office and I had one of the boxes with me, and I was like, so what's the best way to do this if I've got a bunch more of these? And the guy who I know, I'm kind of friends with him. I think he's watched some of my videos. Sometimes as I walk up to the counter, the guy at the post office says, Mr. Draws. So I like them there. But yeah, I was like, so what's the best way to do this if I have a bunch of these packages that are all exactly the same? He's like, well, how much is a bunch? I'm like, well, I've got 7 or 8 more in the car, and then maybe at the end of the month I might have like 30 more. he's like, you should go online and do the click and ship. Click and ship, he said. And it really, and so I did it online. It's like a USPS thing where you just type in the address. I bought a scale so I could see exactly how much my packages weigh. And then I bought, I didn't use it for these packages, but I'll use it for the future packages. I bought a little thing I'm pretty excited to use called a label printer, because this time I just had to print out the labels with my regular printer and cut them apart and tape them onto the boxes, which worked pretty good, but I'm just so looking forward to the convenience, the streamlining of the process. Plus, I just go in to the USPS website, type in everyone's address, I type in the dimensions of the box and how much it weighs, and it prints out it gives me like a PDF of the labels, and then it's just do. So I'm pretty excited that I figured out a process to make it simple and straightforward. And then the goal here is to be able to dedicate as much of my time as possible to the drawing part, right? Like the dream, the goal is for as much of my life as possible to be able to be dedicated to things like leisure and creativity and art and, I don't know, listening to music, going for walks, eating food, hanging out with people that I like and love. And so if I can do things to reduce the amount of time I spend doing things like writing addresses on boxes and taping labels to boxes, that's good, in my opinion. I mean, obviously, it's worth it to do a little bit if it gives me the money to be able to do more of the other things I like to do. So I'm just trying to find the balance, and I think I'm getting there. Sorry, I feel like I just talked about packaging books in boxes for like 5 minutes, but sometimes that's how it goes. I hope you're all doing well. Make sure you like and subscribe and grab one of these books if you want it. Look, I've sold like 30 or 40. I think I've sold about 40 of these autographed. I don't know the difference between autographed, signed. I've sold about 40 of these special versions of the book, and so I feel a heartfelt thank you to all of you. Plus, I sold about 500 or 600 regular copies on Amazon. So just thank you everybody who's bought a copy in either way. I really appreciate the support. It makes a huge difference. It's very encouraging. This book represents many years of my life worth of work, and then it took me a couple years to put the book together as far as formatting and how I arranged and organized the drawings, and I put some words in there, like some prefaces to the different sections, and I mean, some of the time, like when I say it took me 2 years to make the book, this is also partly just because I was going through mental hurdles trying to figure out what I wanted the book to be, but I finally got there and I did it, and I'm really happy with it and proud of it. So grab you a copy. It's 530 something pages. It's giant hardcover book about the size of a chemistry textbook. So thank you everyone. See you in the next video. Make sure you like and subscribe. Let me know what you think. All right. Bye. Goodbye. Bye.